film opens with two innocent kids who are very close friends. The girl is named Claire, and she is older than her companion. They pause outside a candy shop to pick up sweets from inside, craving them badly. Claire says, "I'll go in and buy the candies. You can come too and get yours." Hearing this, her friend answers with childlike honesty, "Claire, I don't have any money." Claire replies, "No problem. Let's do this. Let's steal the candies. You go inside and distract the shopkeeper, and meanwhile, I'll grab the packets." Hearing her plan, the boy gets nervous because he has never stolen anything. Claire told him not to overthink. All you need to do is go inside and act like a lost child. Say, "I can't find my dad." Hearing this, the shopkeeper will believe you are lost and will come to help. While he's distracted, I'll have stolen the candies. Though unwilling, her friend agreed and said, "All right, I'll do it." Claire added, "Once the job is done, we'll meet here." Following the plan, both went inside and acted it out. Claire managed to steal the candies and stepped outside, standing in one place to eat them. Suddenly, a voice came from a dark corner nearby. Claire asked, "Who's there?" But no answer came. Now she began waiting for her friend. After waiting for quite some time, her friend still hadn't returned, so Claire herself went into the shop to check, but her friend was nowhere to be found. She asked the shopkeeper, "Where is my friend?" The shopkeeper replied, "His dad came and took him." Hearing this, Claire was stunned because his father had never come there. Then who had taken him? From that moment on, Claire's friend was never seen again. Soon, it was revealed that many more children had gone missing from the city. Behind it all was one man, the kidnapper, who used to abduct children. The police caught him and sentenced him to 25 years in prison. After that, the story jumps straight ahead. The story now jumps 25 years ahead. Claire has grown up, and sitting with her is her friend's father, whose name is Bill. Bill still misses his son deeply. He believes his son is alive and wants to find him. Claire now works as a broadcaster and runs a small radio channel. Today marks 25 years since her friend went missing. Bill asks her for help to mention his son on her broadcast so that listeners might assist in the search. Claire replies, "I'm sorry, Uncle. I can't do that," because she believes her friend will never be found. But Bill insists that no matter what, he has to find his son. Bill says, "I have to find my son at any cost, and I need your help." Claire agrees and replies, "Yes, Uncle, I will help you. We will definitely find him." Then Bill introduces Claire to one of his friends who knew the area very well, since he had been living there for many years. After that, we see interviews of some townspeople, including elders and a detective. A senior detective recalls, "I worked on this case 25 years ago. It had become a very serious matter, as one by one, children were disappearing. This was shocking and troubling for everyone. The children were neither found alive, nor were their bodies recovered. Because of this, fear and terror had spread throughout the town." Bill, determined to find his son, began investigating with his companions. Their search led them to a place called Moor, which was completely desolate and barren. Claire, however, did not go with them, as the trauma of what had happened to her in childhood still haunted her deeply. Meanwhile, Claire went to meet the same senior detective who had worked on the case 25 years earlier. She informed him that Bill was searching for his son at the moor. Hearing this, the detective was shocked and troubled because 25 years ago, he had already investigated that place and found nothing there. There was not only no child, but not even a trace of anything belonging to children. Claire now went to Bill's house. Looking through the window, she saw Bill with a man who was doing something with a locket. When she entered, she realized that this man was a psychic, someone with abilities and powers that allowed him to know certain things. These powers also enabled him to sense paranormal phenomena like spirits or ghosts. Using his powers, the psychic told Bill where his son could possibly be found. Claire thought to herself, if Bill was taking the help of a psychic to search for his son, then surely there was something real to this. The place the psychic mentioned was indeed the Moor. After that, they all went there to search for Bill's son. Claire also joined them. Though she was afraid, she gathered courage and came along, as she too wanted to find her friend. After searching for quite some time, they found Bill's son's shoe, Claire's friend's shoe. They picked it up and kept it with them. At that moment, Claire began to feel uneasy. It seemed as if a powerful and evil force was present there, and she would never be able to leave. Panicked, she tried to run away and eventually reached the road, where she finally took a breath of relief. The next day, Bill took his son's shoe to the police and said, "I want you to reopen this case so I can find my son." But the evidence wasn't strong enough, so the police refused to help. After this, we again see the senior detective who says, "We never revealed the kidnapper's face to the public, and he never confessed what he did to the kidnapped children." That makes me believe something is seriously wrong here. And even if someone knows the truth, they are hiding it. Then, Claire and Bill go to the psychic's house, where Bill explains to Claire, yes, he is a psychic, but he doesn't have enough powers to locate Bill's son. But he had a daughter, Eleanor. She possessed far greater abilities than her father and claimed she could find Bill's son, yet the psychic refused. He said, "I cannot put my daughter in any kind of danger." He loved her deep. Ever since his wife had passed away, Eleanor had become his entire world. Losing her was something he could never bear. That's why he wanted to keep her away from this case, so her life wouldn't be at risk. But Bill, determined to find his son at any cost, had already called Eleanor. When Eleanor arrived, her father grew angry with her. Then Eleanor tells her father, "Dad, don't think too much or worry. I came here by my own choice, and I believe we should help Bill." After this, some more exchanges happen between father and daughter, which convinces Eleanor's dad to support them. They spread out the map of the Moor on the table and sit around it. Eleanor studies the map closely, using all her strength, and repeatedly points to the same location. Seeing this, Bill quickly marks that spot on the map. However, Eleanor had used too much of her powers, which left her feeling restless and strange. Perhaps this was the very reason her father had originally tried to stop her from getting involved in this case. The next day, everyone had to go to the Moor. Eleanor also wanted to join, but her father warned her, "Daughter, that place isn't safe. There could be danger there. You shouldn't go." Still, Eleanor refused to listen and insisted on going. So the next day, the whole group reached the Moor and continued forward. Eleanor was also recording everything on video. A little further along, she sensed the presence of a young girl. It was actually the spirit of a child. Eleanor asked, "Who are you?" The spirit replied, "I don't know. I have even forgotten my mom and dad." Eleanor then asked, "All right, tell me, after killing you, where were you buried?" At that moment, the girl's spirit tries to control Eleanor and, using her power, pushes her into a pit. Eleanor gets injured and everyone rushes to her. Her father helps her. Meanwhile, Bill realizes that the spirit is trying to communicate something. He begins digging at that very spot, and to everyone's shock, he uncovers the corpse of a girl, the very child whose spirit was present there. It meant that 25 years earlier, the kidnapper had killed and buried her at this place. In this way, the spirit answered Eleanor's question about where she had been buried. Seeing this, everyone is stunned. The story then jumps 4 weeks ahead, where Bill is still trying to find his son, with Claire helping him in every possible way. After this, Claire and Bill went back to the psychic's house. There, Eleanor told them, "A spirit is always with me. It often protects me. Whenever I am in trouble and don't know what to do, it helps me. We are very close to each other, and it acts as a guardian spirit for me." Then the psychic, through his daughter Eleanor, communicates with that spirit and asks, "Tell us about the children who were killed and buried in the Moor." The psychic then asks the spirit, "Can you sense us?" The spirit answers yes, and reveals that the souls of the children whose bodies lie there remain trapped in darkness. Here, Bill asks the spirit about his son. Using a pointer, the spirit marks a place on the map and then departs. After that, the group sets out again to check the spot the spirit indicates. Moving a little further, they notice a strange long stone with bizarre circular patterns on it. They continue onward, but soon rain begins pouring down, forcing them to stop. They pitch a tent on the spot. While sitting inside, Eleanor explains, "My spirit friend never likes coming to the moor. Whenever it comes here, it feels uneasy. That means there's something here that even it dislikes and fears, despite being a spirit itself." While everyone was sitting in the tent talking, Bill stepped out to use the toilet. Outside, he spotted someone, began to follow them, but suddenly he fell into the swamp. At that very moment, Bill's friend arrived and saved him just in time. Bill told her that he had seen someone out there, so the two of them went off to search. Meanwhile, inside the tent, the psychic grew very anxious, fearing that because of Bill, everyone's lives might be in danger. The place was already notorious for being full of threats. To clear his mind, the psychic stepped outside. During this time, Claire and Eleanor began talking. Claire told her, "I still grieve over my friend's disappearance. I hold myself responsible for it, because if I hadn't sent him into the candy shop, he would never have been kidnapped." Suddenly, Eleanor lets out a loud scream. Hearing her cry, Bill and his friend rush over. They ask her, "Why did you scream?" Eleanor, looking distressed, explains that there is a very dangerous force here. Terrified of it, her spirit friend has abandoned her, and without him, she too feels a strange, overwhelming fear. Then Eleanor's demeanor suddenly changes. She begins saying, "There is a door here. It has opened." With that, she starts becoming possessed, as if some dark power had entered her body. Once again, she screams at the top of her lungs. Seeing her terrifying condition, Bill and his friend run to call Eleanor's father. Meanwhile, Eleanor's eyes start bleeding, and from her face, it is clear she is in terrible agony. Suddenly, she collapses to the ground. They manage to find the psychic, but suddenly strange sheep surround them from all directions. The scariest thing was that these sheep had no eyes and looked viciously bloodthirsty. To escape them, the psychic runs back into the tent where he sees his daughter Eleanor in a terrible condition. Seeing her so weak, her father immediately takes her to the hospital, but from her state, it was clear she would not survive. Everyone else returns to their homes. Meanwhile, Claire receives a call from the senior detective warning her that they should never have gone to the moor because the danger there is far greater than they can imagine. Hearing this, Claire becomes anxious and tells Bill about it, once again urging him not to go back to the moor. But Bill refuses to listen to her, and the next day, they set out for the moor once again, since he was determined to find his son at any cost. This time, Bill's friend does not go with them, as she did not want to get into any more trouble. Now only Claire and Bill head there. When they arrive, Bill suddenly points a gun at Claire. Shocked, Claire cannot understand why he is doing this. Bill tells her, "You must die here, so that I can get my son back." Hearing this, Claire asks in disbelief, "But why? Why do you want to do this? And who told you that killing me will bring your son back?" Then Bill explains that the night before, he had heard a voice telling him that if he sacrifices Claire, he will get his son back. Hearing this, Claire burst into tears and cried, "This is wrong. Taking my life will never bring your son back because he left 25 years ago and will never return." But Bill still refuses to listen and moves forward to kill her. Claire pleads desperately, "Please, uncle, don't kill me." Yet Bill drags her to that stone. Just then, a sheep appears and attacks Claire. The sheep dies in the process, but Claire falls into the swamp. At that moment, the souls of the other children rush at her, and in this way, Claire dies. As soon as she dies, we see Bill's son appear there, finally returning to his father. After 25 long years, father and son reunite, overwhelmed with happiness. By now, many questions must be running through your mind about what was really happening, so let me explain. In fact, a demonic entity lived on the moor. The swamp pit was actually a gateway to hell. From there, the demon demanded the sacrifices of children. And those sheep you saw were actually the souls of children enslaved by the demon. These souls helped him in carrying out the sacrifices because he had turned them into his servants. This had been happening for many years. It was this same demon who whispered into Bill's ears that if he sacrificed Claire, his son would be returned, and in the end, That is exactly what happened. The sacrifices were always meant to be of girls. That is why only the bodies of girls were ever found. It was always the girls who died, like the spirit girl whose body was found and Eleanor's death. But on the day the kidnapper mistakenly abducted Claire's friend, the sacrifice had actually been meant for Claire. That is why the demon did not kill her friend. Later, when Bill finally offered Claire's sacrifice, the demon, keeping his promise, returned his son and took Claire instead. Now, the question is, why did the kidnapper abduct children to sacrifice them to the demon? The answer lies in his devotion. He considered the devil his god, his everything. Worshipping and obeying him was his life's purpose, and that is why he carried out these horrific acts in service of the demon. Now the cycle was about to begin once again, because after 25 years, the kidnapper would be released from prison, and once more, to the demon he worshipped as his god, he would offer the sacrifices of innocent young girls. This meant countless more girls would fall victim to the ritual. And with this chilling, terrifying conclusion, the story, the film, comes to an end.